Welcome back to the channel, everyone. I know it has been almost 6 months since my last upload, and I want to make this video now that the Nhl Awards are over and everything like that, just to talk about a few things, because a lot has happened since my last upload in early to mid-January. So I want to talk about the 5 main things that have happened, the things that I rang off on the top of my head that are important. So number 1, of course, the Penguins won the Stanley Cup. Sidney Crosby with the Conn Smythe Trophy. That was just incredible. San Jose, honestly, if it wasn't for Martin Jones, that series probably would have been over in 4 or 5 games. I know that sounds biased, but I've seen a lot of analysts and hockey people talking about it, and they said the same thing. Without Jones, it's over in 4 or 5 games. So I'm really pumped that the Penguins won the Cup. Finally, I was starting to doubt that it would ever happen again, but they finally did it. They crushed the Rangers in 5, had a hard-fought series against the Capitals in 6. Crushed Ovechkin's dream again. Then a really great performance by Sid and the boys in Game 6 of the Tampa series to force that Game 7. And Brian Rust, Mr. Game 7 hero right there, comes up with the win. We march into San Jose. We march against San Jose. Take the first 2 games in Pitt. Little bit of a shaky third game right there. Donskoy with the OT winner. Pittsburgh then wins Game 4. With a really dominant effort on the road, and then they go back home trying to win that cup. It's a lot of pressure, a lot happens. San Jose gets a good jump early, and they still get outplayed, but they end up winning the game. And then Game 6, Pittsburgh, the bounce-back team that they are, of course, wins the cup. So Pittsburgh outplayed them in every game that series. That may sound biased, it probably is, but it's true. They outplayed the living fuck out of them in every game. And San Jose just got a couple bounces. Like I said, if it wasn't for Jones, it could have been 4 or 5 games. So thank God the Penguins won. I can finally just relax. I don't need to stress out about the Pens anymore every year. Because every year, since I've been doing YouTube videos, I have made a video in the summer every year pretty much talking about how, oh my God, the Penguins, of course they collapse, right? And now, finally, I get to make a video saying they're the champions. So that is really awesome. So that's the first thing I want to talk about. Second thing is, Las Vegas has an NHL team now, which is kind of weird. There's going to be 31 NHL teams because apparently Quebec got denied or something like that, which is kind of weird. But 17 in the East and then 15 in the West would kind of be weird, so it kind of needs to be 16-16, but 31 is really weird. Apparently they're going to join the Pacific Division. I'm a little scared about the expansion draft because you can only protect 7 forwards, 3 defensemen, and a goalie, or 8 skaters and a goalie, and players with no movement clauses in their deals are automatically counted as protected, so they count as one of your spots, no matter the position. So that's scary for Pittsburgh because, Fleury's got a no movement clause, and it's kind of what's going to happen? Are we going to have to get rid of Murray here or Fleury? But anyway, that's the next thing I want to talk about was the Nhl Draft. And potential for a lot of moves this year. A lot of UFA players out there for July 1st for free agency, but the draft tomorrow night is big because a lot of trades are going to happen. I can feel it because of this expansion, and that you want to get the most for your players that you can if you're not going to protect them. So Fleury, he could be moved to Calgary, like people have been saying, for picks and a player or something. He could be moved to Dallas. I wouldn't even mind Dallas. That seems like a good option. Take Lettinen or take Niemi. Niemi's got a smaller contract, I do believe. So take Niemi. So you have Murray and Niemi, Murray and Lettinen, and maybe another pick, something like that. You got to get rid of these players now. I feel like it's going to start happening tomorrow, a lot of trades at this draft, because you got to get rid of your players. You want to get the most for these guys because you might not have them next year and you'll have to give them away for nothing at this expansion draft in June 2017. So I'm just flying through all this stuff because I'm probably going to leave a bit of stuff out here, but the draft, Vegas has an NHL team, Pens win the Cup. We'll talk about the Nhl Awards now. They were last night. So I just want to quickly go over the Nhl Awards. So the Hart, we had Kane, Crosby, or Ben. Kane, they gave it to him. It's a most points award, really. If you have the most points, you're probably going to win the Hart. But as we saw in the playoffs with Crosby with the Conn Smythe, most points doesn't necessarily mean the best player and most valuable on his team. So you can argue Kane or Crosby or Ben. Ben probably the most valuable out of all of them to his team, simply because his team isn't as good. But I suppose Kane, whatever, he deserves it too. Of course, I'm going to vote for Crosby. That's biased as fuck. Next award here, Drew Doughty with the James Norris Memorial. This one I didn't like. I thought it should probably go to Brent Burns. Carl, it's normally a most points award again, but this year they kind of went off that and probably realized that they were getting in a lot of shit for that. Like, people hated that you were just giving it to the most points guy. But Burns had almost 30 goals. He was the player that led them to the Stanley Cup final. He was the guy on defense for San Jose. Carlson didn't even make the playoffs, and the Kings were completely destroyed by San Jose in the first round. And I know this is a regular season award show, but, come on. I think Brent Burns really deserved the Norris. Panarin for the Calder, that's a little debatable because, is he really a rookie? Is he not? I'm not going to get into all that crap about him not being a rookie because by NHL rules, he is a rookie. Rules are rules. He had the most points. Of course, they're going to give it to him, right? Remember, Crosby lost the Calder to Ovechkin too, and Ovechkin had the most points there. So, and I honestly believe if you look back at all the performances, their rookie years, Crosby was the better player. So, of course, bias as fuck again, but still. Holtby with the Vezina makes sense. Best team, most wins, tied NHL record, right? It's another award that normally goes to the goalie with the most wins, or most points. You know what I mean? It's kind of one of those awards. But his numbers were spectacular, rightfully deserved. I'm not really gonna go over the Selk with Selkie, however you pronounce it, with Kopitar and the Lady Bing and all that with Kopitar again. The Foundation Award, King Clancy, Messi leadership. I'm not going to go over that stuff because I don't really know much about it. Art Ross went to Kane, of course. Jack Adams, Barry Trotz, fine with that. They had the best year. Whatever. Lindsay Award, it was Holtby, Kane, or was it Ben? Was it Ben on that one again? Yeah, they just replaced Crosby with Holtby for the Ted Lindsay. So Kane, again, a most points thing. Voted by his players, his peers, so it makes sense. Where is it? Jennings, doesn't matter. Maurice Richard, doesn't matter. General Manager of the Year, unanimous, Jim Rutherford, makes sense. Again, of course that's going to sound biased, but look at that. Look at that team he put together halfway through the year with Daly for Rob fucking Scuderi. Daly for Scuderi, that's fucked. Then you get Hagelin there. Bonino steps up. They had a complete team calling up the rookies, hiring Mike Sullivan. He deserved unanimous GM of the Year. Just the Stanley Cup clinched it for him. What else do we got here? There's one more award I was really skeptical about besides the Norris that I really didn't like. Oh yeah, the Bill Masterton. Why did Jágr win the Masterton? Just because he's old. I get that he's persevered through a lot, He's fighting through, his age, and he's just a complete physical specimen of hockey. He lives and breathes hockey. He's one of the best of all time. But, Dupuis had to go through blood clots, life-threatening blood clots, attempted to return, stayed with the team after he retired, was the heart and soul guy. Zuccarello, I heard that he couldn't even, he could barely talk or even walk when he was, injured from getting hit in the head with that puck. They showed it at the award ceremony last night, too. It was quite brutal to watch. But, and then he comes back and has career highs and points and goals or whatever. How did one of them not win? How did one of them not win that? Congratulations to Jágr, but come on now. They, just because you're old and are playing at an old age, Gordie Howe played at an old age. God bless Gordie Howe, hockey gods. But Gordie Howe played at an old age. Chris Chelios played at an old age. They were, in peak physical form. I don't think that being old necessarily constitutes a trophy for you. Congrats, you're old and you still play hockey. Wow, great. By that standard, you might as well give it to Matt Cullen, who's 40, because he played amazing in his role too. But you get what I mean, right? I hope you guys understand what I mean. No disrespect to Jágr, but those guys, they could have died or lost their careers. So I think one of them, Zuccarello or Dupuis, really deserved it. But I've just been rambling for 10 minutes about things that we've missed since my last upload, things that I've missed, because I've just been taking a break. I've just been really bored of recording, bored of NHL 16. I've been playing Be a Pro on my own. It's really fucking easy because I really got nothing else to play. But one last thing I want to talk about is NHL 17. For those of you who don't know, you have to. The beta is at the end of July. You get it for a week. At the end of July into August, you have to sign up for the beta. So make sure you go to easports.com.ca, whatever, and you have to sign up for the beta. Make sure, because you won't get the beta simply because you have NHL 16. I'm pretty sure that's how it was done last year, but this year you need to have a sign up. You need to sign up for the beta. So make sure you go sign up if you want the NHL 17 beta. That's the only thing I really want to talk about with NHL 17, to let you guys know about that. And I guess that's it. Pens won the Cup, new team in Vegas, my awards debate, Nhl Draft, should see a lot of trades, Nhl 17. By the way, Austin Matthews is definitely going first, and then Patrick Laine is going second. That's just what I feel. But expect some trades. Really do. I'm excited for this draft, okay? I'm really excited for this offseason. Not just because the Penguins won the Cup, and Sid's going to bring the Cup back here to my hometown, his hometown as well. I'm very excited for that. But it's going to be a lot of action. There's going to be a lot of action this offseason because of this expansion draft, just because there's a lot of high-profile UFAs. I'm not so sure Stamkos is going to be in Tampa Bay, though. I feel like watch him go to Toronto. I could see that happening. So watch out for Toronto next year. I don't think they'll make the playoffs, but just watch out for them. So anyway, now I'm just rambling on. If you guys want me to touch on anything, feel free to comment below. Comment on what I talked about in this video, anything I missed, and I'll definitely reply, and we can have good discussions about it. But until then, I'll see you guys in the next video, whenever it is. I don't know. It might be an NHL video. It might not be. I just wanted to get this out to let you guys know I'm not dead. Thankfully, I'm not dead yet. So thank you guys for watching. Thank you guys for sticking with the channel, even though I haven't uploaded in like 6 months. So I appreciate that, and I will see you guys soon. Bye-bye.